Hi there guys, welcome back to another episode of 4K Garage. So in this episode, I finally want to start getting at the car with the angry tools. The grinders, the saws, the Dremels, and so on. And so this episode, I'm going to start tackling the cutting of the front arches. So what I need to do is get some help to get some measurements, draw some lines on the car. Got a variety of tools to help me do it. Hopefully some might give me a cleaner cut, but might be a little bit more tricky, especially in certain areas. But I'll show you all the tools, I'll show you what we've got to do, and we'll go from there.
Slowly drifting by, all the poems I wrote for you, they made me blind, they made me lie. Heard you in the rain, will you always be there? Last thing you
Okay then, so coming over to the car, you can see I've already started to tape things up, already started to draw some lines on here, and I say make some measurements, but in reality it's just me drawing on the car with a few pens. So there's a couple of lines here. This is a red line, believe it or not, it's on blue tape. But this is the outer edge of the arch itself. If you were to hold the arch up to the car, this is the outer edge of it, and it goes right around here, right up near the headlight, down to the bumper. The other side comes right up, right under the fender garnish here, and then down. And the second line here, the black line, is where I wish to cut. And this is a couple of inches away from the red line, giving a good amount of meat for the rubber well nuts I plan to use to hold onto, grip onto, and hopefully should give some rigidity still to what's left of the front wing, while also cutting out a sizable amount of the arch for the wheel to have some proper wheel travel, so I don't just end up grinding away my tyres on the sharp edge of what's left of the wing. And you can see here, so I come down, and it abruptly goes down, and that's because if the wheel were on here, it would be going up there. That's actually a couple of inches away from where the edge of the wheel is. I wanted to be safe so that as it turns and whatnot, we've got plenty of room. And coming over this side, actually, the line actually goes right down there and then right down to the side skirt. Now I'm cutting out this much here just because as the wheel turns it takes out a fair chunk of that area, but also the actual Rocket Bunny arch recesses into the wing itself, and therefore you can't even lay it flush until you've cut away some material. So I'm just going to cut away kind of all of that. It's pretty safe. The new arch covers that whole area. So that's it really, that's the plan. Now tools wise, let's have a look at those. So I've got the normal grinder of course, and Dremels. But I wanted to give this a go. Now this is what they call a drill nibbler. Now essentially, you've got two ends here, one for thicker and one for thinner sheet metal. But you attach this into a drill. So up in this area here is a little head. And if you put the sheet metal in that area, this spins and basically just chips away at it. And so it can give you some really nice, really well controlled cuts compared to using a grinder, of course, where it's a bit hack and slash. This should hopefully give smoother, cleaner cuts. It means it's a little bit safer. It's not going to walk away and make a big mess of the car. And it should be easy to clean it up once it's all done. And these are relatively cheap. I think it was like £15 or something. I'm hoping to use this for as much of it as I can, but like I said, I can only really go through thin material. So in thicker areas, I might have to break out the grinder. Now, I need to drill a hole in the wing to get that started, of course. So let's get that done and then crack on with it, really. If things go to plan with this drill nibbler, I can almost do the whole thing with nothing but the drill, which is good. So I think we're going to start here because this is the corner I've chosen. Here's the drill nibbler, and as you can see, cuts away at the metal. So I've never used this before. Be a first for me. Let's give it a go.
Whispers in my mind, I slowly drift.
Well, as first cuts go, I think it's a fairly substantial one, but it's also fairly good. A little bit tricky to control at the beginning, a little bit wavy, but let's finish it off and have a look, shall we?
Heard you in the rain. Will you always be there? Last thing you said. Sorry if it's too late. Heard you in the rain.
Right, so here we are. Here's our first cut. Pretty gnarly. I was able to get through most of it with the drill nibbler all the way up there, and I had to do the last few bits with the angle grinder. It came out alright. Now what I'm going to do is get the flap discs, clean it up a little bit, give it a little primer.
Cloudy skies and lips of fire and stars between these two worlds. You try to find your own. I try to run, try to hide. I needed to survive. Heard you in the rain. Will you always be there? The last thing you said. Sorry if it's too late.
Right then, so let's go through what I've done then. So I've done both sides now, and as you can see, I've just taped the arches up to the car best I think they're going to be. What I'm going to do, of course, as you can see, there's a bit of gap still, so I'm going to start fastening this down. I'm going to find the areas which are higher than others and sand those back a bit so that it all kind of sits nicely without being too stressed in certain areas or wanting to spring back out. But here's the front driver's side arch. So you can see I've cut this area out down here for the side skirt to poke in. Got it all cut out up here. And then round here by the front bumper, which, like I said, is still fastened in up there. And as you can see, I started cutting and shaving the front bumper a bit. Slipped a little bit of the angle grinder. But I started cutting the bumper to accept the extension. Now there's going to be a bit of finessing. Starters, as you can see there, those two bits want to face away from each other, so I'm probably going to have to fill that in somehow. I'm also going to have to just massage and shave down other areas just to get that to sit properly, so that's not too big of a deal. And the same deal here. I've made this relief on both the tops of the arch extensions so they can get in there nicely. I'm going to leave it here for today. Going to come back tomorrow when I have a second set of eyes just to make sure that these arches look like they're on pretty straight before I start sending any holes through them and start fastening them onto the car. Other than that, see you guys tomorrow. Right, so here we go again, another day, and as you can see I've done quite a bit of work finalising the front arches. So I went away after I ran into a couple of little issues, did some research, looked at plenty of pictures, spoke to a few people once again, and got some more feedback on how exactly these bits should all fit. Got some help with me, and we just give you a little walk around. So got all the front arch fitted. I've just used the self-tapping screws that comes with the kit for now. Two reasons: one, to hold it on temporarily, and two, to give me a hole. So what I'll do is I'll widen out these holes, use the proper well nuts and bolts that I have, make it nice. But for now, that's held on there. I was able to get this gap here fixed. Essentially, you just got to really manhandle the kit. There's even a little bit more to go, but you just got to force the kit together. There's no two ways about it. Bolt it right up there in that corner, and then just smash these in, and it does all kind of behave eventually. So that's the front arch and front arch extension, front bumper, which you've already seen. It was a lot easier this side, getting this line to join up. But yeah, going around here, all the same, around to the back. So now I've got this done, I can move on from here, start doing the side skirts on both sides, move around to the rear, do the rear arches. But I'm really pleased with how this turned out. Let's have a look at it from the front. Nice. Right, well there we go. So that's another episode over for now. So it's a bit of a funny one, of course. I'm trying to take my time as much as possible fitting this kit. And I'm second guessing myself at kind of every opportunity because I just want to make sure I'm doing it right. So if I feel that it's not going exactly how it should, I'll go home, I'll do some research, I'll speak to some people, look at some pictures, try and find as much information as I can on how to fit it before I commit to anything, because I don't want to, shoot myself in the foot. I don't want to make a mistake that I then regret later on. Go away and do a little bit of research, come back and do it properly the second time around. So that's how I've been kind of going about it, really. So if there's anyone out there that is watching and has given me some advice that I've reached out to, or they've commented on Facebook or Instagram or so on, thank you very much. But yeah, that's the end of the first episode of the Wide Body Kit. Front arches, done. So like I said, I'm going to move on now, going around the side of the car, rear of the car and so on. And eventually, because I've had a couple of questions about this, I plan to basically, this is my first pass on the kit. I eventually plan to go around the whole kit again, refitting every panel, taking all the screws out, like I say, drilling the holes out, rust proofing them and putting nice big well nuts in there, sealing the well nuts in and so on and so forth, shaving down any high spots around the edges of the arches. And I also need to do a whole prep stage where I go over every single panel with like high build primer, sand it back 600 grit and so on. Kind of just prepping the whole thing for the wrap or paint. But yeah, so that's it for now. So as always, hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, do all that good YouTube stuff. Till next episode, hope you guys have a good one. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye-bye.